Hey y'all, Dylan here. Today I'm going to show you the most powerful AI agent stack of 2025. We're going to be combining together N8N, the MCP Protocol, and APIFY. If you don't know what those things are, it's all good. I'm going to explain to you what they are, why they're awesome, and I'm going to show you a step-by-step of how to set it all up starting from scratch. So if that sounds awesome, let's get into it, shall we? So let's first talk about what is N8N, MCP, and APIFY, and why does it matter in the whole world of AI agents? If you don't know what an AI agent is, it's the ability to have a AI or a large language model be able to take actions for you online. And there's various levels of this, from being able to take actions when the user requests it, all the way up to fully autonomous agents that act on their behalf and make the decisions without a human's intervention. Those are different levels of these AI agents, but essentially they have tools so they can take actions. Combining these three together solves a major problem of the large language models being outdated and not having the ability to understand the real context of the situation. Let me explain why this is awesome and how this works together. So N8N, if you don't know what it is here, you can go here and sign up. They have a cloud build that is about 20 bucks a month, but we're going to be self-hosting this, which is awesome because it means you can use it as much as you want, as many of the different workflows, and you don't get charged for every workflow. You can just self-host it, and when you need more memory, you can just get more memory from the cloud hosting service. So this is how this works. There are nodes inside of here, building blocks of the N8N, and it has the workflow starts with the trigger, and then it flows into actions, like saving to a database, and you can chain these multiple together, make complete multiple steps. One of the biggest things that they have is an AI agent built into these systems that allow you the ability to be able to give an AI agent tools to take actions. So there's hundreds of these integrations, Slack, Google, GitHub, that allow you to do these things. If you're heavy into code, or if you're a no-code user, it works great for this. And again, you can self-host this, or you can do this in the cloud. We're going to self-host it because it's more economically friendly and overall awesome. Now, the next thing we have here is this MCP. We're going to show you how to get this thing up and running, which is called a Model Context Protocol. What is this? It is an open standard designed to simplify the standardization of how AI models, particularly large language models, connect to external data sources and tools. Think of it like a universal adapter, similar to how USB-Cs work physical devices. It allows the AI system to interact seamlessly with various applications, databases, and services without needing to have custom-built integrations for each one. And that really solves one of the major limitations. Why does it matter? It addresses the key limitations of an AI model that is often isolated, relying solely on their training data, which can be static or outdated. MCP bridges the gap by enabling real-time two-way communication between AI models and the outside world. This means AI can pull in live data like checking your calendar or actions or sending them through email with a standardized system. I'm going to show you an example of how that works exactly in just a hot second. The last tool I want to show you here, which is one of the favorite things for no-code developers, is a thing called APIFY. There are so many things you can do with APIFY. It's incredible and it's powerful, and we're going to be connecting this up. What it is, it's a full stack web scraping automation platform designed to extract data from websites, automating the power browser-based workflows, and turn web pages into structured data sets for APIs, a comprehensive ecosystem for developers and businesses. Really what it has, it's got thousands and thousands of different ways that you can interact online with these different actors. You can scrape web pages, you can search for things on Google, or you can do things in TikTok. It allows you to interact with the internet by building these different types of scraper services so you can be able to take actions online. These are known as actors. There's 4,000 of them that are pre-built that you can just plug and play. You can start defining these tasks and you can have them get run. You pull back these things called data sets. I'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. These tools integrate with all of these amazing scrapers online like Playwright, Puppeteer, and a bunch of other abilities so that you can take actions online. And then you execute these actors so you can run them manually or schedules or API calls, or what we're going to be using the MCP protocol to make this happen. So this is a powerful stack when you combine these all together. Let me show you when we're talking about this. This is N8N. This is the typical AI agent setup. And so what you have is you have a primary agent here, and then you have these sub workflows here. So back in the day, AKA a few months ago, when you wanted to take an action with an email, send an email, this agent would call the sub workflow, and then you would have to program or set up all of these different nodes, send an email reply, label an email, create an email, get an email, all this stuff right here. And then this agent would kick it back up to this one. This is the old way to do it. The new way to do it here is you have this AI agent and you simply give it 2 nodes. One node here is going to be listing tools and the other one is executing tools. For example, if we look at the APIFY TikTok, I'm going to show you how to set up here in a little bit. It's going to look at it and say, okay, what are all of the things that I can do and take actions? For the Gmail one, it was send an email, write an email, label an email, all that fun stuff. These are all the actions. Once it knows all the actions, it can then execute those actions on the side. So whatever the request is, it can take in your language and human speak, understand the capabilities of the application we're interacting with online, and then it can execute those things online by executing it over here, and then it sends it back up to this primary agent. So instead of needing all of this, simply gets placed with one of these. That is the power of the system. So this is why it's so awesome. And so when you're combining all three of these together, you now have the ability to do all the workflow automations with the AI agents. You have a universal adapter that understands how to interact with any application online, whether it's Firecrawl or APIFY or whatever else it is. Then you combine it with APIFY that gives you over 4,000 different scraping services, and you have a powerful AI agent that can do a whole lot of amazing stuff online. So with all that being said, let's start to set this thing up right now, step by step. We're going to be using Elasio here. Elasio is a super easy way to get up and running, to be able to self-host this inside the cloud so that you can be able to get N8N up and running with this MCP protocol all spun up. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and sign up. I'm just going to go ahead and click free trial here to sign in. Okay, so once you go ahead and log in and you put in your payment information, your account is going to get under review, and it's going to take a little bit to get that up and running, and you should receive an email that looks like this. You've been successfully linked your card, your account is being reviewed, and it could take a few minutes during business hours, but may take a little bit longer over the weekends. And so we're just going to wait until we get approval, and then we're going to continue this video. Now that we are verified, you get this email that says you are verified, and the first thing we need to do is add some funds inside of here in order to use the system. We go to add credits. We can start with this $10. We can agree to the terms and service and click add funds. We can see payment has been successful, so we're good to go from there. And this is the simplest N8N self-hosting to get this set up. So you type in N8 here, N as a service, we click select, and then we go down here and we really set up the fundamentals of what do we want to have. So we're going to start with this Heights server cloud provider. We're going to click on North America, and we can pick where we want this to be hosted. So since I'm closer to Hillsboro here, we're going to go ahead and click on this one. And then over here, we have the size of basically the computer we're going to be using. And you can see that there's these 3 different sizes: small, medium, large. Just to let you know, holding the MCPs on there can be pretty resource intensive. So I wouldn't go with the small. So let's stick with the medium for right now. We might need to upgrade to the large for later. We can see here on the side the estimated hourly price for what we have here. And we can scroll down here at the bottom and we can click next. Once we click next, we can give this a title of what we want to call this. I'll call this DW Consulting. And this is what's going to be showing up in terms of the name of the link that we're going to be using to log in. So that looks good to me. We can go down here to advanced configurations if we wanted to do that, but we're not going to be touching that right now. And then we're going to be sticking with this level 1 support, which is going to be included. If we want to upgrade that, we can include this, but this looks good for us for right now. We're going to click create service. Now that's deploying the service. We're going to wait 1 second. We can see right here that the service is being deployed. And so we're just going to wait until this gets deployed. We can see now that the service is running. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. And this is going to show you all the stats of the N8N service that's been deployed. We can look at the tools, the backup, the metrics, the monitoring, all of that. But what we're going to really do, just to get started, we're going to just highlight where it says CNAME here. We're going to right click this and we're going to say go to app. Now this is going to bring us to the login where you're going to put in all your login information here. Now that I entered all these credentials, I'm going to hit next. And this is just some information that you can fill in as much as you want. So you can put in whatever you want here at the top. I'm just going to be grabbing the first top of these and then just moving on to the next step. Now I have an option to get some paid features for free, so we can hit skip. But if we want to get the free license key, we can send me a free license key and it will go ahead and send the free license key to there. Great. You can see that this has been headed over to upgrade the system if we want, but we are going to go ahead with the next step in the process. And now we're here at the blank area of the N8N. In order to take the next step, we need to install the MCP into our self-hosted N8N. The way that we do that is we click here down at the bottom to these 3 dots. We click in settings. We open this up and then we're going to click on this community nodes. Community nodes are externally developed, so it's not actually supported by N8N directly. And so we are going to be using an external node for us to be able to install this. We're going to click install. And then all we need to do is we can go over to this website here that says the nerding. And I'll provide this link in the description so that you have access to this. And this shows you, created by Nerding here, how the system works, everything about it, how to get installed and up and running. But all we need to do to get started is we're just going to click here. We're going to copy this. We're going to open up the community node section. And then all we do is paste this in like that. And then we're going to click understand and then click install. And we're going to have this installed. And again, the reason why we click understand is because we're understanding the risk that this isn't provided by N8N. This is actually unverified by an external person who someone else made the code. Great, the package is installed and we're ready for the next step. Now that this has been installed as a community node, all we need to do is we're going to exit out of the settings here. We're going to start from scratch inside of this blank workflow. And we're going to confirm that we actually have this MCP node created. So we're at MCP. We can see that there's the node. If we go ahead and click on this right here, we can see that we have a couple of different functions here: execute a tool, get a prompt template, list available prompts, list available resources, list available tools, and read source resources. So let's go ahead and list available tools. Primarily, we're going to be using list available tools and then executing tools. So we're going to click on that like this, and we can see that this is now set up. And by the way, if you need help setting up these types of systems, or you'd like me to install this inside of your business to get this up and running quickly and easily so you don't have to, you can go ahead and book a meeting with me down below. There'll be a link down below along with the links to this GitHub repo and everything else you need to get started. So with that being said, let's get back into this, shall we? So we're going to exit out of here. We can see that we have this set up right now. What we need to do is we need to be able to actually get our first MCP client installed. If we go to this model context protocol section of here, all the different servers, there are a number of different servers that we can plug into to get these up and running. Now, there is a bunch of these set up for Airbnb, for Brave, and for a bunch of other ones that you can see tutorials online. But the one I want to show you that people haven't really done here is APIFY, because APIFY is super powerful. So with that, what we're going to do is we're going to go down here to APIFY, and there's APIFY. We'll go ahead and click on this. And we can see that here is the code to be able to set up the server. We can see all the information inside of here, but really what we're going to really go down to is we want to go down to the section where it says MPX. So we're going to go down here to the bottom. We see the MPX here. And this is the same thing that you would do whether you're doing Airbnb or the Brave search or any of these other ones for this MPX. It's one of the easiest ways to get this up and running. Now here in this section, we can see that this is the overall APIFY, but if you want to call a very specific one in order to take actions, you're going to actually call an actor, and then you're going to give it the name inside of here. For example, I have this TikTok data scraper extractor here that we can use. If you want to use a different one, you'd simply go into the store here, and let's just say we wanted to work with Twitter. We would go inside of here and we use this Twitter one, and we could get started with this. But for the example, what I want to show you, I'm going to do it with TikTok. So click on this actor section for myself. I'm going to click on this data extractor here, and we can see that this is the TikTok data extractor. And if we go back to the MPC here, we can see what we need to feed it. We need to give it the command MPX, and then the -y as an argument, the server, then -- actors, and then we're going to put in that link, and then we're going to put in our APIFY token. I'm going to show you exactly how to run this. So we're going to copy this MPX here, go over to here, go to credentials, create new credentials, command, we're going to put in MPX, arguments, we're going to go back here. We see it says -y, grab this, we go here, -y, click on this APIFY actors MPC server, click back here, do a space, hit enter, go back here, grab this -- actors, go back, do another space, -- actors. And then right here is the name of the actor. The name of the actor that you're going to be using is, you see here at the top, we're just going to go ahead and copy this to the clipboard. And then we go over to the workflows, hit space, hit enter. And now you have the name of the actor that we're going to be calling. The environment here is going to be the actual key that you're going to give it from APIFY. So we click here, we see where it says APIFY token, paste this in, hit expression, and then you hit enter, and then you put in your APIFY key. The way that you get that is you can actually go to APIFY here. You scroll here to where it says settings, and then over here it says API. We're going to click on API, and then right here is your API token. So what we can do is we can just copy this. We can go back over here to here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this back on so you can't see the key. I'm going to hit paste. And then I'm going to change this right now just so that I know the name of it. And you can see that it already been saved and just got logged because it automatically hit save for me. But we're going to put this inside of here, and we're just going to change this one to APIFY TikTok scraper. Great. We're going to click save. Now that we have that, we have the credentials now saved inside of here. And there is the APIFY scraper. That's beautiful. So we have list tools. So now you can see this here. If we click on this and all I need to do is hit test step, when I hit test step here, we should be getting back all of the functionalities that this TikTok scraper can do, which is going to be telling the AI agent what are all the functionalities that this one scraper could do inside of N8N using this MPC protocol. We can see here that we have the description, what it does. It extracts videos and channels based on hashtags and anything else that we want to have. And here is the schema of all of the elements that we could have inside of here. And then it has the name discover actors. And so it gives you all the data here that you need, or at least the AI needs, in order to know how to actually run this. So in order to be able to call this function, we now need to have the execute from MCP. So we type in MCP, we click on the client, we scroll down here, and we're looking for execute a tool. And we can see from the previous node here, this is all of the data that we can pull over. So for tool name, we're going to feed this to AI in another function so the AI will be able to call the exact tool name. So now when we want to test this, and just as for the test, later on, we're going to feed it to the AI and it'll tell us, it will give its name, but we drag the actual name over here to the tool name at the top here. And then inside of this section below, all I'm going to do to test this out is I go back to this JSON inside of APIFY. If I click on the JSON, we can see here that I just filled in this profile section called ChatGPT for me, which is just the name of my channel on TikTok. And if I go back to this workflow here, and then I paste this in like that, and I hit test step, we can see here we've gotten all the data back, and we can see all of the different posts that I've had all lined up for us, ready to go. And we can look at this in this different format in terms of text or in terms of the schema. And it makes it really easy for us to take this through the N8N flow to do additional functionality. Now that we know that works, let's go ahead and hook this up to an actual AI agent. The way that we do that is we hit this plus sign here. We hit the advanced AI section. We scroll down to the AI agent. We close this out, and we can see here we're going to disconnect this, and we're going to put this down off to the side. We're going to want to add in a chat trigger so that we can be able to chat with the agent. Go over here, connect this up like this. And what we're going to need to do here is put on some intelligence. So it has some intelligence. I'm going to go over here to OpenAI, and then we're going to select the credentials. I need to create new credentials. In order to do this, it's real simple. You go to platform.openai.com. Here it is. You just need to log in. So I'm going to log in real quick. And once you're logged into here, all you need to do is you need to click over on the dashboard. See where it says API keys. You click API key. Go ahead and create new secret key. We'll call this N8N MCP. And we're going to hit create secret key. And then you're going to copy this over. So hit create secret key and then copy that over like I'm going to do right now. So now that I copy that, I go back into the OpenAI section here for the credentials, create new credentials, API key. I'm going to paste this in and then hit go. Now that I've saved it, it says connection successfully tested. And so we are good to go with that. And now AI has been connected to this. Next step here, we're going to want to do is before we run the tools, it will not allow us to execute this tool because it will break unless we go into the environmental functions to fix that. The way that we do that is this. We click back over here to the nerding section for the MCPs. We scroll down here to looking for the environment variables. You can see here where it says a sample of executing the operations. We're going to scroll down to the section where it says environmentals package allow to be true. We can copy this over. So we have that copied. We go back into Elastio. And inside of the services inside of here for N8N, what we're going to look for is to update the config. And if we're going to click this to open this up, and we're going to simply paste this in. One small tweak as well. We go down here, it says payload maximum this, enter like that. And you see here it says -n is true. And what we need to do here is switch this equal sign to a colon sign, hit space right here. We can see now that's been highlighted, looks good. So now we can hit update and restart. So now we're just going to wait for this to update the N8N server. You can see it's going through the server logs here and it's going to be updating everything for us. We can see now that it says the editor is now accessible via this link. So if we click on this link, it's going to open back up. Shows that we are now ready to go. We can go back into this agent inside of here. And we can see that we have lost that AI agent because it wasn't saved. So we need to go and recreate that. That's not a problem. Go here, go down to AI agent, bring this down, give it the intelligence, OpenAI. Since we have the credentials in here, we're good to go with that. And then we need to give it these tools. So we're going to go over here, click on the tools on the top right-hand side, client tools. Over here, we have the APIFY scraper, list tools. And the other section here is we're going to do MCP one more time. And instead of list tools, we're going to switch this out to execute tools. inside of the tool name, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have the AI tell us what tool we should call it. So we're going to go in here, enter this in, we're going to do the double curly braces, money sign, and then F, and we're going to see where it says from A, and then inside of here, we're going to do double braces. We're going to call this tool, and then we're going to do a comma, 2 more quotes here, and we're going to put in the tool selected, like that. All right. Where it says, let the model define the parameters. So the AI will determine what to put in the parameters itself. We're going to click save. Now I'm also going to add on that chat again, so we can now chat with it again. So we're going to click chat over here, bring this across, connect this over here, hit save. And we can see inside of here that we have nothing else inside of here. There's no specific prompts or anything else. So I can do system message, your helpful assistant. That is all we need to put in right now. And so I'm going to hit with open the chat and test the workflow. And I'm going to type in here, what tools do I have available? You can see this is thinking. It's now going to OpenAI model. It's now going to be looking at those tools over here. It might be good to rename this from MCP Client 2 to the tools. And then this is the execute tools. We might want to rename these as we add on more of these. I'm going to click save while we're waiting. We can see that it got the information back. And if we look down here at the bottom, it says that this is the actual APIFY agent itself, or the actor. And you can see, again, we have all the same functionality as before. So this time, if we want to say, I want you to find videos with the hashtag AI agents, and we'll go ahead and hit enter. It's now going to be going to the execute tool. And again, there was no prompting that we did with this AI agent. It automatically knew to go to the tools and automatically came back to there. And we can see here that if we take a look at these 2 items here, is that it originally errored out. If we took a look at this, when it first tried to do it, it didn't do it correctly. So then it went back and forth another time inside of here, the tool schema, right? We look at this, it errored out. If we open this up here, but the second time it went ahead and tried it, it actually pulled back the result that we're looking for. So we can see here that there was a video by apparently someone named Sabrina. And this is the actual information that we have. And if we go to this video right here in this URL, we can go ahead and click on this and open this up, and we can see this video that involves the AI agent. Click enter. And
here are the top 7 AI.
We can see there Sabrina. Apparently TikTok wants me to do some human things to know that I'm human, but we're going to close that out because that was just for testing purposes. And we can see that this worked. So now what you can do with this is anytime you want to be able to connect to all of APIFY, anything that you want to be able to do with it, you can go simply into the AI agent store here. You can select any one of these, for example, the Cheerio scraper. You copy this thing over and you do that exact same process again and again. And that is how you can set up what I consider to be one of the most powerful flows of hooking up the N8N system to the MCP protocol, and then hooking that up to APIFY to be able to have agents run all over the internet and take actions completely on your behalf. So that is everything. I'm going to provide all the links down below for you to get started to getting this for self-hosted, getting access to the N8N GitHub repository, and also a link to all of the different servers that you have access to. I just showed you APIFY, but you can do this with a bunch of different servers to be able to set up your own AI agents. I'll be covering more of these in the future, so follow if you want to see more of these in the future. And also, if you'd like my help setting this up for you, feel free to book a meeting with me down below. There'll be a description to book a meeting with me if you'd like my help setting this up for you. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the other side now. Bye.